The morning after the baby shower, our founder's parents were up bright and early. The baby has been extremely active and keeps Kari up most nights. As you can see here, girl is struggling, ha ha ha. Anyways, Uriah woke Kari up to show her the finished nursery. She briefly looked around, thanked him and left. Uriah was a little hurt that she wasn't more excited, but decided it must be her hormones. In actuality, she was still worried about whose baby she was carrying and how close they were to finding out. There was no way she could get a paternity test, and she had made sure to cut Tai Lum off to avoid any suspicion or risk of Uriah finding out. Still, if the baby didn't look like Uriah, she was screwed. The kids headed off to school for their finals, walking past a stinky trash pile on their way out. Both kids were a little nervous, as it was almost the end of the school year. While the kids headed to school and Uriah left for work, Kari decided to spend the morning trying to exercise the baby out. The bloating, the tenderness, the cravings, it was all too much. She has been doing yoga for years now, and it always calms her mind and body. It was especially helpful when she was pregnant with Mavis. As she loaded the laundry, she began to feel more uncomfortable. Apparently, the yoga routine had not worked. Let me just say, everyone. Pregnancy looks miserable, but Kari makes it look even more miserable, LMAO. Also, while I'm here, can I just say the lag for actions is so crazy sometimes. Why did it take her 5 seconds of standing idly to actually load the washer? LOL, I can't make this up, did y'all see that? Anyways, back to this cinch. After finishing the laundry, Kari got a text from her bestie Nancy Landgrab. Not only did she want to get the girls together, but she wanted them to meet at her house. How sweet of her not to make her leave when she's this pregnant. They all met in the home gym to encourage Kari while she continued her yoga routines. Finally, she was starting to get the feel for it again, so much so that she began to hover while she was meditating. If I were her, I would have been looking to the left of me. It's not every day you get to see Judith Ward bent over like that, you know. Back in the house, Mavis had returned home from school with her friend Sydney. She didn't know Sydney very well, but she was trying to get closer to some of Malcolm's friends. Sydney had had a rough go at his finals and was letting it all out to Mavis. She was trying her best to be nice and comforting, but she has such bad RBF. If I were Sydney, I would have cried more. OMG, not him ripping one on her. Mavis ordered them some takeout since her mom was cooking less and less these days. Remember what I said about the lag? My MacBook served me well, but oh my god. Thank God I upgraded to a PC. Thankfully, the table was already set, so Mavis sat down and dug in. Sydney left without saying anything, so it was just her for tonight. She took the time to think about her life. Being paranoid made her think about her future constantly. With Sydney leaving so suddenly, her mind was wandering and thinking about why he could have left. Did he hate her? What would he tell Mal? She decided to send a cute selfie to let Malcolm know she was thinking of him and missed him. Hopefully that could deter anything Sydney may be saying to him about her. Uriah popped in to say hi to his daughter after an evening workout session. He could tell when she was stressed out, so he offered to clean up after her. Upstairs, Kari was hard at work scrubbing the bathroom. The hours of yoga had not helped to start labor, so she decided maybe physical labor could help bring the little Simon demon out. If the scrubbing doesn't work, maybe that nasty-ass toilet will get the baby to leave. The next morning, it stormed. The rain was so heavy, in fact, that it woke up both Michael and Mavis. Both of them had a long day and ended up going to sleep much earlier than usual. Mavis also never got a text back from Malcolm, so she decided to sleep her feelings off. Michael decided to make himself breakfast while Mavis worked on homework as an attempt to stay distracted. You would think that Michael would have made breakfast for the both of them, but he decided to make only one grilled cheese. Typical older brother behavior. The two moved to the dining room to spend time with their dad. He was worried about their mom. This pregnancy was so draining on her, so he asked the two of them to make sure they're doing their part around the house to give her a break. After breakfast, Uriah headed out to his gym. He likes to run off his stress. Kari came down and had leftover spaghetti after the rest of the family left to do their own thing. You can really tell where Mavis gets that RBF from. Oh my gosh. The lightning started to clear up a bit, but the rain still came down hard. Kari is stubborn as hell, so she decided now would be as good of time as ever to tend to her garden. She had decided if the baby didn't come out with any other strenuous activities, then she could do anything she wanted to. As if that wasn't bad enough, she decided to lounge in her pool in the rain. Of all things, that is what sent her into labor. Relaxation. The rain cleared up and she and Uriah rushed to the hospital. He wasn't in a full panic thankfully, but mostly because he knew from experience how pissed off Kari would be if he didn't keep it together for her. He made sure she got taken in immediately and worked on getting her checked in. He wanted to make sure they had her preferred doctor. When he got back to her room, he helped her stretch out on the yoga ball. She was in some pain, but not too much. She wanted to make sure she took advantage of this time and held off from getting an epidural for as long as possible. Uriah knew just how to help her and the pain lessened quite a bit. He left to get her a drink, and Kari took a moment to try to calm her mind. The moment of truth was almost here. One of the nurses let her know her doctor would be in soon, so she lied down for the time being. The pain was starting to worsen again. She tried to focus her mind on the pain to avoid thinking about this baby's paternity. Thankfully, her doctor finally arrived. They discussed her birth plan, and she let her know that she wanted an epidural soon. The pain was increasing as she was speaking to her. For some reason, her doctor got flirty, but she let her know she had the equipment all ready to go. She turned around on her bed and let her doctor give her the shot. Ouch, girl. Someone remind me never to get pregnant. You would think with the epidural she would be bed-bound, but nope, clearly Kari is persistent. She got up and began to do some stretching on her own. She was only dilated 4 centimeters, so she had quite a ways to go. Just look at that pregnancy glow though. You go, Kari Gladstone. Also, where the hell was Uriah? Uriah was in the bathroom calming himself down. He was doing a very good job at not freaking out on Kari, but it was stressing him out the longer they went with no baby. Mavis took the longest, but Michael was here within an hour of her water breaking. Since the epidural was still not doing much for Kari, she got up to grab some food from the cafeteria. Uriah never brought her back her ice, so she decided to get it done herself. Oh! Nice of you to join us, Uriah. For once in her life, Kari held the snark back and they enjoyed their meals together. A cold sandwich and a microwave dinner is hardly a meal in Kari's opinion, but the hospital didn't have any other options. After dinner, they swayed to the music in the cafeteria. It was romantic in a way, and very comforting to Kari. She was starting to really regret all the time she had cheated on Uriah. Really, girl? You do not deserve this man, LMAO. He is literally keeping it together emotionally, financially, and physically for your cheating ass, like my god. Even after all that swaying and movement, Kari was only 8 centimeters dilated. Uriah slept on the couch and Kari napped in her bed. They texted the kids to keep them updated and let them know there were leftovers still in the fridge. This baby was definitely taking it for longest labor time. Kari woke up from her nap and was only at 9 centimeters. Her doctor encouraged her to keep resting, but Kari of course decided to go right back into stretches. She didn't want to risk being here another night with how long this was already taking. While she was resting, I got this sneaky little notification from her doctor. "Girl, this is what you're doing on the clock." And now Uriah is tooting in the delivery room. I fear this episode is very unserious, hahaha. I couldn't get him to stand at the table with her, so I just posed him next to it instead. Kari was finally pushing. She didn't get to have her doctor, but the baby was coming. Thankfully, the nurse was able to help her breathe and stay calm, and everything went perfectly. She gave one last push and...
Miss Stevie?
Kari felt an immense sense of relief. She looks just like Mavis when she was born, so there's no doubt that Uriah is the father. "Welcome, baby Meredith Gladstone,"